Devon Energy CEO just said something that I think Devon stock investors are really going to be excited about. So in this video, I'm going to highlight what Devon CEO said that you're not going to believe. But before I get to what he said, I'm going to highlight supporting sentences, supporting information from the CEO that really goes to support the statement that he makes. So let's get into the supporting statements, and then I'll highlight what the CEO said that you're not going to believe, that you're going to be really excited about as a Devon stock investor. So starting with the CEO saying oil production exceeded their midpoint in the most recent quarter at 320,000 barrels a day. That's a growth of 11% compared to the year ago. This level of oil production was the highest in the company's 52-year history. Now, higher production is really good news for Devon stock investors right now because oil prices remain elevated. But that's not it. That's not it. This positive start to the year puts us in a great position to potentially spend fewer dollars in 2023 to achieve our capital objectives. So it's not only notable that they were able to achieve higher production, the highest in the company's history, but they were able to do that with effective cost management. So they're able to increase production while keeping costs low. And that's the key here, right? You don't just want higher production, you want higher production effectively. So that resulted in $665 million in free cash flow, which marked the 11th straight quarter in the business generating free cash flow. And that's come when oil prices ranged between $40 and as high as $120 a barrel. That's important for Devon stock investors, right? Because oil prices are not going to remain high for forever, right? They fluctuate. And the fact that Devon's been able to produce positive free cash flow with oil prices as low as $40 a barrel is a really good sign for investors. So the total cash payout from its shareholder-friendly initiatives reached annualized a 12% yield for investors, right? One of the main reasons people invest in Devon Energy stock is because of the variable dividend yield. The dividend payment changes as the company's performance changes, and since oil prices have been higher, performance has been better. Investors in the last few years have been excited about that dividend payout. So nearly half of that dividend was derived from the distinctive fixed plus variable dividend framework. The variable part of the framework is what gets investors excited, because when the company performs well, the dividend payment goes up, and then it goes back down when the company doesn't perform well. So this consistent formulaic approach, which began nearly 3 years ago, has allowed Devon to offer one of the highest yields in the entire S&P 500 since the groundbreaking implementation. Now we get to what the CEO said that's going to be shocking. It's going to be unbelievable to investors. It's going to be something that you're really going to like. This is the part that you're really going to like here. We continue to see attractive value in repurchasing our shares, which we believe traded at a significant discount to our intrinsic value. In other words, what the CEO is saying, I think our stock is undervalued. I think our stock is really cheap in the market right now. We think it's really cheap. How cheap do we think it is? Well, we're putting our money where our mouth is, and we're repurchasing. We've already repurchased $692 million of our stock in the market today. So that means management thinks this stock is so cheap that they went out in the market and repurchased, spent $700 million of the company's cash to go out and buy the stock. Right? It's one thing when CEOs just talk and say, hey, we think our stock is undervalued. Almost every CEO goes out and says we think our stock is undervalued. But it's another thing to go out, spend money, spend dollars, and buy back that stock, to actually put the money where the mouth is and spend the money. And that's what I think investors are really going to like about what Devon Energy CEO said, and backed up the statement. Not just saying we think the stock is undervalued, But backing it up, going out, spending $700 million buying back the stock. And oh, by the way, we're not done. We're not done buying back the stock. The board of directors upsized the repurchase program by 50%, saying, hey, we might go out and spend $3 billion buying back our stock if it remains this valuable, if it remains this cheap. So really unbelievable here, the confidence that Devon Energy CEO is putting behind his feeling that thinking the stock is undervalued. So I really like to see this if I was a Devon stock investor or a shareholder, which I am not. But if you are a shareholder, I think you should be happy to see what Devon Energy CEO is doing here. And not only saying the stock is undervalued, but going out spending 700 million already in 2023 to buy back shares, and also saying, hey, we might spend as much as $3 billion buying back our shares. All right, but that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.